Joining us right now is former Trump campaign manager, Avenue Strategies partner, and co-author of Let Trump Be Trump, Corey Lewandowski. Also joining us is Democratic strategist, former Obama campaign regional director, and former U.S. Army Ranger, Robin Biro. Good to see you both. Thanks so much for joining us, gentlemen.
Good morning. Thank you.
Corey, let me kick it off with you. You're testifying today. There are reports that you hired a lawyer to represent you over this probe. Is that accurate? What can we expect later today?
Well, what you expect from me today is exactly what you always get from me, which is the truth. And I'll be happy. And I've said I'll cooperate with any investigation that they have, whether it's a congressional investigation or anybody else who wants to sit down and talk. And I'll tell them that there was no collusion, there was no coordination, no cooperation between our campaign when I was there and any foreign entity. And if there was any, then those people should be held accountable. But look, Maria, this has been going on now for over a year. There has been no evidence whatsoever that anything has taken place. And even Dianne Feinstein, the ranking member on the Senate Judiciary Committee, has said she has seen no evidence whatsoever to show any collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia. So, look, I'll come in and talk to anybody, but at some point, we have to bring this investigation to a close.
Robin, do you agree with that? I mean, at this point, given we haven't seen any evidence of any collusion, and we know that there was, in fact, collusion at the top of the FBI and Hillary Clinton with all of the bias going on there and the protecting of Hillary Clinton and what she was doing in terms of her email, and yet there's no focus there in the media.
You know, Maria, I just have the opinion that this investigation, we're not going to know exactly what there is to it at this point. The public certainly isn't privy to it. So just let this investigation run its course. The president has been insisting that he's innocent. Let this go unimpeded, so this is not a permanent stain on his presidency.
Do you think that there should be questions asked over this so-called insurance policy that FBI agent Peter Strzok was discussing with his girlfriend Lisa Page at the FBI? They did not want Donald Trump to win the presidency and said that, well, you know, we need this as an insurance policy. Do you think that should be looked at?
Absolutely. I think that everything should be looked at. Look at the investigation into Bill Clinton. That started off into a real estate transaction, and it birthed the Monica Lewinsky scandal. So these investigations can go anywhere. Anything is fair game. Absolutely, Maria. I think that's fair game.
Corey, one of the things we've been talking about this morning is this idea that apparently Bannon said he was told by the White House not to discuss anything, as you just heard Congressman Gowdy talking about this new privilege. Were you told not to discuss anything from the White House?
No, I wasn't. And what I've said to the members of the committee that asked me to come, and I volunteered to come, by the way, they asked me to come. I'll be happy to go and talk to them. But look, I'll be happy to tell you anything. But what I think Steve was saying is he'll be happy to answer any questions during his tenure on the campaign. Because if this investigation is truly about did Russia collude with the Trump campaign to impact the outcome of the election, then let's talk about his tenure on the campaign. If this investigation is about something completely different, which is what Donald Trump has done after he's the president-elect or as the president, that's a very different investigation. And Steve, from what I understand, the public reports of saying is he's willing and was willing to talk about anything that took place while he was at the campaign, but not while he was a chief strategist of the White House.
Let me switch gears here, because President Trump is expected to hand out these fake news awards today. He tweeted on January 7th this: the fake news awards, those going to the most corrupt and biased of the mainstream media, will be presented to the losers on Wednesday, January 17th, rather than this coming Monday. The interest in the importance of these awards is far greater than anybody could have anticipated, the president wrote. Robin, what do you expect to happen today?
You know, honestly, the lead purveyor of fake news is Donald Trump. The fact checkers have already said that he's given us more than 2,000 lies. So honestly, he should be one of the recipients.
What are the 2,000 lies, Robin? Don't spew out nonsense. What are the 2,000 lies?
Come on, let's start with day one, the biggest presidential inauguration in the history of all inaugurations. We can start there. They just continued every single day. We get more and more from him. But I agree there, you know, the media needs to be held accountable. You know, I think we're going to all have a little bit of fun with this. But the term fake news, Maria, came because Russian bots were literally putting out fake news.
No, I think the term came because the media is not focusing on what the American people care about. You never see in the New York Times any articles about Dow 25,000 and Dow 26,000. You rarely see articles or news reports away from Fox and Fox Business of the 4% economic growth that is expected in 2018. Instead, you've got the mainstream media focusing on whether or not Donald Trump wears dentures and whether or not he's obese and how many Diet Cokes he drinks.
No, I'll give you that.
That's fake news.
Yeah, but fair is fair. And to me, it's the pot calling the kettle black because he's pushing out fake news every single day.
Maria, look, we have reporters every day who are making up stories. We saw this with Brian Ross from ABC, and the stock market drops 350 points, in an afternoon because he made up a fake news story. And you know what the accountability was? Nothing. Nothing. He still has his job at ABC News. That's what fake news is, and that is what the American people are tired of. And we've seen this time and again. We saw a story that said Deutsche Bank was under a subpoena from the Mueller team to turn over Donald Trump's finances. That never occurred. The Mueller team had to come out and say, we've never issued a subpoena to Deutsche Bank for those records. So where is the accountability? When do people get fired in the media for making the news as opposed to reporting the news? And that's what the fake news awards are all about. Yeah. The worst of the worst, the people who make up the news and affect our lives every day, and people's stocks and people's 401ks with no accountability.
All right, we'll be watching that. Corey Lewandowski, Robin Biro, thanks very much, gentlemen.